have interviews with the administrators at GERTS and of the community gardens to ask them what are the factors that are needed to have a successful garden. My research question number 2 is, how do students' environmental perspectives affect their actions towards environmental activities such as gardening? So for this question, I want to know what type of perspective students need to have in order for them to participate in environmental activities, and to gain a perspective of what type of worldview students have at GERTS. I will survey 25% of the GERTS population about their perspectives on activities such as gardening. And I will also video interview 2 selected students to get more into depth of what they think about activities such as gardening and what possible factors might motivate them to be part of a garden, or what factors are the reason behind why they're not actually participating in the garden. So my third research question is, how can ownership and motivation be created towards a school garden amongst the school community? So in my research, I read a few articles stating how ownership is mostly created when people are more involved, and they're actually create stuff, so they have more responsibility with the things that they create. So in order to create more of a motivation to be involved in the garden, 2 workshops will be hosted, one about plant your own vegetables and another one of garden crafts, and I'll be working alongside with Yolette and Brianna to create these workshops. And then feedback will be collected at the end of the workshops in order to measure the success of the workshops given. And then about my context and purpose. So the Crystal Green Garden is the garden we have right here at Western High School. And the garden has the potential to give the community more resources, such as plants, and also a space to find more relaxing. And the research will be focused on the relationship between the student community and the Crystal Green Garden. And then, real quick, the purpose.
It's a context purpose, right?
Yeah, and can I say my purpose?
Yeah, just brief.
So basically, the purpose of the study is to note the factors that are essential in order to make the garden more successful and sustainable at GERTS Western High School.
Okay, so Damara's comment, feedback, and then let's Yolette, can you go next?
I think that your methods to find your solutions to the questions are very well thought out, and I think they're very effective. I think they're going to be very effective. And overall, your presentation was really good, and you spoke really clearly.
I think you're a bit nervous though.
Yeah.
By the way, Yolette, you can go ahead and put your stuff. And then the thing about this is the essential question number 1. If I recall, that's the part where you want to look at what are the successful gardens out there, right? And this might involve you also, not just, it might involve mapping, actually mapping, and then perhaps that one you can ask Daniel the method of how to map, because that would make sense in our case to map where the community gardens in this area, right? So then we could start Googling it first, and then but I think in our area over here, we probably will not have a lot of internet, how do I say, because someone has to put it up, right? Yeah. Now, if they don't put it up, it doesn't mean it does not exist. So your job is